everyone, and welcome to another edition of my Become Unstoppable series. Now, today I have a very special guest. This is another client testimonial unstoppable story. So, it means so much to me when my clients are so generous in actually sharing working with me. It makes me feel really proud, and yeah, I feel like a proud mum sometimes when I do these. So I'd like to introduce you to Jade. Jade, would you just like to introduce yourself, my darling?
Hello, my name's Jade.
And
Uh,
what do you do, Jade?
I am a primary school teacher.
She is indeed a primary school teacher. And as we go through this interview, I'm going to try and remember to remind you to tell us what we do, what you're doing now with the children, which is amazing. So, those who don't know me, my name is Julie. I'm the founder of Millieside Therapy and Coaching, and my passion really is helping individuals to overcome stress, anxiety, and to really build their confidence. But the difference is we're going to the root cause of what's going on. We're not surface level here, and we use my Identity Box Rewire Method to do that. It's a new my process really, which I'm super proud of because it is so powerful. So there you go. So Jade, before we get into any of our interview, I just ask every guest that I have on here, and that question is, what does being unstoppable really mean to you?
Being unstoppable means that I personally feel like this now, but don't let anything get in my way. I have this bubble and I feel like any negativity that comes along just bounces off of the bubble around me. And it's just constantly, thinking positive, and that's what I'm doing now, and I'm so confident. That's what
Oh,
unstoppable means to me. So,
see what I mean? It makes me so proud. So the Jade that first reached out for help, what did she look like?
oh, I've kind of forgotten that version now. You know, out with the old, in with the new. But she looked deflated, um, completely, rock bottom. Um, just that this bubbly person was no longer there. Um, I felt like I was trapped. I couldn't see a way forward in my life. And I just knew at that point I had to do something. I was desperate to seek help
Mm,
because I knew I could no longer carry on like that.
mm.
Um,
And how was that impacting other aspects of your life?
it was affecting my job. I would be sort of turning up to work, just feeling negative, like, oh, I don't want to be here. This is too much. Oh, it's everything. I'm just on a hamster wheel. It's just
Mm,
never ending. It was affecting my relationship, and the relationship with my family, my friends. I just was isolating myself. I just didn't really want to be just show people who I was because wasn't proud of myself, and I was just, the complete opposite to confident, really.
mm,
Um, tense, and I just had all this inside me that was, you know, it was just coming out. It was in bursts,
mm,
all emotions, and I thought, is this my past coming creeping back to me? Is it, am I still being affected by this? Because I don't know why I'm feeling like this.
mm,
What is it? I couldn't pinpoint what it was, but I knew it was something, and I just didn't know how to recognize it. I didn't know, how to identify the problem. So I just thought my only option is to look for a type of therapy.
mm,
Um, because I was reading books, I was just on all these things, but I needed something deeper to really get me out of this
mm,
situation that I was in. And it was just ongoing constantly, every single day, waking up, oh, that negative mood, oh, what am I going to do today? I didn't know how to think positive. And that is not like me, This,
mm.
I lost myself completely for a
Mm.
very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's quite common, isn't it? For many people, it's
Yeah.
I think, you're not very old, but as you get older, you kind of get you get more trapped, I think, because
Yeah.
you've got more and more build up of trapped feelings, emotions, and beliefs that are holding you back. I mean, luckily, you've done it now so that it can free you
Yeah.
for the future, can't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And and actually, I mean, obviously Jade's not going to share anything in detail, but suffice to say that she had some trauma in her life, and there are different types of trauma. There can be real, like deep trauma, but most of us have got some sort of trauma. Even if you had a nice childhood, there's always something, isn't there? And was
Mm.
you quite surprised about how things in your life were actually making you physically feel right, in your everyday life?
Yes, and I didn't really realize it until I got to that lowest point. So I realized that, physically I was, lethargic, not energetic at all. I just feel like I was just this like person moping around, tension in my shoulders constantly,
Mm.
a racing heart, tightness in my chest, and I just thought I need to get rid of these feelings. But I just every single day it was wasn't going away. So yeah.
And I know you've tried other types of therapy before. How did they go, and how did it leave you feeling after?
So I've had talking therapy, like counselling throughout most of my life really. When I was younger, I had family counselling um in my close-knit family. We had it all together. I had it at uni, so different milestones in my life.
Mm,
I knew that I needed to seek help with my emotions, my stress, my
mm,
anxiety. Now, talking therapy was good for me at the time because I felt like it was, short term. Like it was helping me in that moment just to
mm,
carry on. But then I come to a point where this time, because I've had talking therapy about 5 times now throughout my life with different people, it did help me, but it hasn't fixed me.
mm,
And I needed to be fixed this time because I thought if I try the same thing for me, it may not work. This might happen again in a few years' time where I feel like I'm stuck in a rut. So I just thought, actually, look into therapy, but look at something you don't really know about and look at something
mm,
that maybe work for you more long term. So that's why I tried something new.
mm.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite a common thing. Now, I just want to state here, I mean, I did train as a talking therapist originally, but I was still in the corporate world and I never really did it that much. But I don't, we want to, well, I speak for me and hopefully I speak for Jade. We're not knocking talking therapy because it does have amazing results, and it does, like you said, like it helps you at that time. But what can sometimes happen is if you don't get to the root cause of what it is, then you're kind of almost like, imagine you're a garden and you're this beautiful tree, but you've got these weeds growing around, and you can trim them back and you can do lots of self-development and that all helps and that's all amazing, but the root is still there. And the work we do is very much about digging that root out, isn't it? And freeing you from it.
Yes. Yeah.
And that means the physical reaction too. And that's what sometimes gets left behind is you can do all the work and you feel better, but if you've still got the physical root still inside your body, then you're still getting those same physical reactions, aren't you? But then you're trying to just deal with them
Yeah.
rather than, removing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how, because I mean, I call it the identity box rewire method now, don't I? But this is the deep dive process. Now, Jay's only had one of these so far, and you can tell by her beautiful face how happy and, but this was not, as she said, the Jade that first met with
No.
me.
No.
Um, and it's quite interesting actually, because when we do the coaching sessions in between, we go through the form that you've already filled in and, and you go like, I don't even remember saying that because
No.
it's like you say, it's like that person's kind of vanished,
Yeah.
or that element, not that person, but
No, but my soul has been cleansed in a way, I just feel like it's been lifted
mm,
in a way that, I'm even walking around and people are noticing a difference in me. They're saying, "Oh, you're really positive, like, and any negative conversations around me, I'm like, oh, okay, But I'm gonna keep this up now, and this is what I want to do, and this is who I want to be. So,
amazing.
you know,
And as part of your package, which I include now, is our group program, isn't it? How have you found that?
really, really good. I because I've got that confidence now as well, I feel like I'm really excited to join the group program and listen to, other people's stories that they're sharing about how they've been feeling and what strategies and techniques they've been using. And I enjoy when you do something different with us in our group
Mm,
sessions, because we take it away from it, we learn from it, and we go and practice it ourselves. So
mm.
yeah, no,
Oh,
really
amazing.
nice. Yeah.
So you already got the training portal, as we say, don't we, that's got pre-recorded content in there,
Yeah.
which did you generally quite like that as well, where you were kind of learning the basics about how the mind works?
Yes, I found it very interesting how the mind, how the body's connected to the mind, and all of the theory side of it. I found that really interesting because then I was like, it increased the awareness in myself by learning it, and
Mm,
it made me practice, the videos that I'd been watching, um, and just sort of learning how, you know, why you're doing what you're doing as well,
mm,
and how it impacts on everything. And I just felt it was very informative, but in a very easy way,
mm.
just watching a video, I write some notes down, and then I can look back on it and I get really excited to watch a new video as well.
Oh.
So yeah, I want to get home and just watch one and be like, oh, what can I learn today? And because I'm a teacher as well, and I've given everything as well. In the day, the children are learning from me, and I'm like, I
Mm.
want to go home, and what am I going to learn now? So yeah,
So just before we started recording, Jade was telling me about some of the things that she's been doing with the children. And I talk to any client that I get, right? I always say to them, when you do work on yourself, right, it has such a ripple effect, right? Now, in Jade's case, that's been obviously she's much happier within herself, but it's also had a positive ripple effect on her partner because of the way, he hasn't done any work. It's all come from Jade, but because she's wired different now, her identity box has been rewired. It's having a positive impact in her relationship with her partner, but also dealing differently with family and friends, but also the ripple effect on the children. So let's start with the children. What are you doing with them that you've kind of done a lot more of since working with me?
yeah. So I have a range of children in my class, a range of personalities where some children are, quite emotional. Some of them may be, triggered with their, anger, but some children that are quite happy in themselves. But I find that teaching them the techniques that Julie has taught me, and by doing that in class, I've seen a difference in them, and they are becoming reliant and excited on doing this every single day. So, especially after lunchtime, where it's a bit chaotic, hectic, they want to come back into a nice, calm classroom, and I can just see straight away that they want to, be involved in a technique like deep breathing, the tapping triangle, the what was it? What was that one,
Was
Julie?
it the mum technique?
Yes, that's it, the mum technique, right? So, we do lots of deep breathing and they sort of squeeze and they hold all their tension in, then they just let it go. Um, and they're smiling. And I'm, noticing straight away that anything that happened during lunchtime that may have, caused a bit upset or a bit of, unsettlement in them,
Mm,
emotions are they're kind of they're calm and they're ready to learn. So what I liked is, certain children now are coming in, can we pull the blinds down? We want to be in darkness, and they just start breathing naturally, in a deep way.
mm.
And I know this is what they want, and I'll
That's
be doing it
amazing,
every
isn't it?
single day. Yeah.
So
Mm.
amazing.
And they did pick it, they did say to me, some of the children said, oh, miss, we haven't done it yet. We haven't started that yet. And it was a little bit busy in the classroom. And I said, oh, okay, let's just stop what we're doing. Let's just do it because, let's just be in the moment now. Um, and they're deep breathing and they're tapping, and that tells me that they're gonna hopefully take this on throughout their life now as they grow up.
That's amazing. And you don't know who else they're going to teach, do you? Again, this is
Oh,
where the ripple, 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 ripple effect goes, isn't it?
yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, like, at the beginning, it just makes me feel so proud, because you're just so amazing. And I feel proud of myself too, because if I hadn't done the training and got into this line of business myself, I would never have met you and we wouldn't be having, this conversation and the ripple effect. And this is why I'm so, so grateful for you to actually do this video, because if people, anyone who watches this, if it just helps someone else, even if it isn't with me, but to take that step to go and work on themselves and to do something for themselves that is actually going to have a ripple effect in their life, and it's
Yeah.
going to help them to be a better version of themselves too. So I do feel so pleased and proud that you've actually, doing this interview with me right now, because it does mean so much. So thank you for that. So that's the kiddie winks. We know that you're having an amazing impact on them. So that's really, really cool. So
Yeah.
how has it changed your relationship with your partner, family, and friends? Don't
Yeah.
obviously go into too much detail, but
Yeah. Well, my home is, calm. It's I just feel like it's so much more positive. We're pretty much just skipping along at home. Um, Anything negative that comes, we just sort of switch off from the day. And my family and friends, I'm communicating with them a lot more now. And having longer conversations, deeper conversations, and
mm,
that's when they're noticing that there has been a change in me. Um,
mm,
but my whole life is coming together. So despite challenges in life, currently everyone's got their challenges, everyone's got things going on. It's how I feel like I'm managing that
mm,
and the people around me. I'm putting myself first in a way, but also supporting others. So I've got that balance, I feel like. Whereas
mm,
before, with the empty cup syndrome where you feel like you're just giving, 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 giving and not looking at
mm,
yourself, now I feel like actually it's both ways. It's people looking after me, I'm looking after them, but myself mostly in terms of, you've got to be aware of how you are feeling at all times.
mm,
And even those negative feelings that come up, you just sort of use a technique, deep breathing, and you just sort of let it go. So it's just recognizing and being aware
mm.
of what's going on in your mind and inside as well, and how you're feeling, the physical side of it as well. So
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about, you can't acknowledge or understand what's going on if you don't stop.
yeah,
And this is where most people get caught up in that busy, busy, too busy being busy, too busy to look after yourself. But the longer that you carry on doing that and ignoring what's going on, then the worse it's going to be, because the point is your body is talking to you all the time.
yeah,
But when you're not listening, it will go, okay, I've given you a little bit of a headache to calm you down a bit, but you didn't, you just carried on. Okay, I'm going to give you a right pain in your knee or your back, and that will slow you down. Oh, right, that didn't work either. Okay, well, I've given you loads and loads of message now. So do you know what? I'm just going to put you in bed for a couple of days, because maybe that's the only way you're going to learn.
yeah,
Or I'm going to give you a really bad disease, like, because stress causes disease in our body, right? And this is what I always say, right? Whether we like it or not, the mind and body is connected. And you can choose to ignore it if you want, but you can't run from it.
no.
And did you have a clue about any of that? Because I know I didn't before I started on this journey.
No, no, I didn't know at all.
Mm,
But now I have so much of an understanding now that I feel like after everything that that you've taught me and my experiences with you, deep dives and group sessions and our catch-up calls, I feel like everything makes sense.
mm,
Especially after that deep dive session, I thought, actually, things have been brought up, like you've gone into my core and I've let go of those things that I
mm,
was keeping. And then now I feel like, in the moment, well, after the deep dive straight away, I actually thought to myself, wow, I've been holding on to a lot that I didn't realize. And then
mm,
it's all come up to the surface, but it's gone. And it's the
mm,
way you let it go. And then I thought, actually, lots of these things that have happened and why I've been feeling like this have been connected. And it all just makes sense. So now I
mm.
understand now, and I'm like, okay, now let's start fresh. So
It
and
starts
that's why,
fresh, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
And it is all because it goes right back down your timeline, doesn't it, to
Yeah,
when you're small.
Hmm.
And as we said, you did actually have quite a lot of trauma, so it was fair play. But like I say, a lot of people don't necessarily have massive trauma. It can be anything, right? Because when we're little, we don't have logic and we create most of our beliefs before we're seven, and you work with young children, you know that there's no way you can talk to them logically with certain things, right? Because they just don't get it, do they?
Yeah, no, no.
And it's quite a frightening stat, really, isn't it? That most of our beliefs are created when we're a child, but when we don't even have our brains not even fully developed. But if we don't change our wiring, our identity box, then we're making decisions in our everyday life, maybe based on something we decided when we were five.
And that's what happened to me. I didn't
Yeah,
realize it was all going back to those points of
yeah.
why I'm still thinking and feeling the way I am,
Mm,
just carrying it with me throughout life. So it's just amazing, really, what can come up in the moment, um, and just being the new version is phenomenal, I think.
oh, look at your
So
little face. I love it.
yeah.
And this is the thing, you can't make this stuff up, can you?
No, no.
It's just there and that's what I'm like when I talk about it, innit? I'm like, and then that's why I'm not very good at timings because you just get caught up in it, all right. But for someone who is really, really struggling, or is really ready for change, but they're a little bit apprehensive about hypnosis and going back to their past, what would you say to them?
I would say 100% do it. It's the best thing that I've ever done. Um, you know, 100%, it's not something you ever regret because it only moves you forward in life. I feel
Mm,
as though you need to be ready for a change and you need to put in that effort. You just need to be ready in yourself. Okay, I need to be a different person now. I need to improve myself. I need to get rid of all of these feelings and from the past,
mm,
or know how to manage things. And you just need to do it because it's the best thing I've ever done. And I know that it's the same for a lot of your clients, Julie. So
thanks, darling. It
yeah,
is, isn't
no,
it? So the process wise, right? I mean, we do the deep dive session. Sometimes some people have more than one, but whatever. But so far you've only had one, right? And look at the change in
yeah.
you. But as part of the deep dive, you get your recording as well, don't you? Your bespoke recording, that you then have to listen to for at least a month afterwards, but longer's the better, isn't it? Because that's the rewiring process now. And we've taken away the negativity part, but now we want to put some really positive things back into your life, don't we? How
Yeah.
did you find your recording?
Oh, I love it. And because I've got it now, I just want to listen to it anytime when I can. So I feel like after the deep dive session, when you created the recording for me, I feel as though I was listening to it the first time I listened to that recording, I did cry a lot because, I was like, wow, this means a lot. And the words that you were using, I believed the words you were saying, it's so positive. And because I'd let go of all of those negative emotions in the recording, it really did relate to me and it meant a lot. So I continued to listen to it. And even after 2 days, I started to feel different
Mm,
in a really good way. So I was like, come on, I want to listen to this every day. Let's keep it up. So then I eventually, got myself into a routine where I would listen to it every day in the morning. And then I was ready to start my day in a
mm,
really good mood. And it's also really calming and relaxing, the recording. I feel like I do remember now because I've listened to it so much. I remember what you've said to me, and it
mm.
has really gone in
Sunk in.
to the
Mm,
mind. Yeah, yeah. So
mm,
in a way, I can repeat some of it. Um, and when I listen to it, I know what you're going to say to me in the recording. But I have honestly come to believe everything, and it's just improved my confidence in myself.
mm.
So
And that's
powerful.
really lovely, and that is the point of it, really, because it's all about, your mind learns by repetition, right? So when you hear something every single day, then it just becomes your normal, right? So a belief is just something you believe, right? But if you have believed something for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 odd years, right? Obviously the older you're going, it's harder, but it is just something that you believe. So what we're doing is we're going, well, let's not believe that about you anymore. Say, for example, your belief is I'm not good enough, right? Well, that is just something you believe. So let's believe something different. So let's believe that you're phenomenal. Let's believe you're amazing. Let's believe you're truly unstoppable, right? So what's the difference, right? The difference is you're so used to saying that negative thing about yourself, but now we need to get you used to saying the positive things about yourself. So the repetition, it's like, okay, so I flipped that old one now, and this is my new belief. I know I'm amazing. I know I'm unstoppable. And that's what you're saying, isn't it? It's kind of that's how you actually feel.
Yeah, yeah,
And when I first meet people and I try to explain to them, I try to explain to them the results that they could get. But it's when you try to sort of explain it in detail about what goes on in a deep dive session, it's like you kind of go, what, don't you? But when and I do say to you, don't I, like, but once you've done it, you'll get it. Did you
yeah,
feel like that? It was like,
yes,
well, sure,
yeah.
no, we're going to talk to these parts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't really know what to expect, but you just have to go with it.
You just
And
have to trust, right?
yeah, and I trusted you completely. I felt at ease straight away. So I feel like in that moment, I was thinking, oh God, what's going to happen here? What's going to come out? What am I going to say? But all for the right reasons. It all just came out,
Mm,
and I felt like it's an experience, the deep dive, that
mm,
only you can really explain to people only once they've done it. Like you can
mm.
explain how it is, but people won't really truly understand until they go and do it. So
And it'll be different for everybody anyway,
it
right?
will
Because
be, yeah,
everyone's got their
yeah,
own issues, and their own
yeah,
trauma or their own
yeah.
beliefs.
I couldn't
But
believe I couldn't believe how powerful it was, to
it
be
was
honest.
power. It is was is it so is, isn't it?
It
And you
is.
feel and you feel that as soon as you come out the session, you feel different, don't you? And then you feel different again after you've been through that recording process.
You should have seen me when I walked through the door after my deep dive. I was like, I'm a new woman. I've just felt transformed straight away.
And
So
poor old partner's like, gee,
what's happened to her? Yeah,
yeah.
very, very honestly, another word for powerful any day, unstoppable, that's how it is.
Mm,
But I feel like, Julie, when you say, listen to that recording every single day, I now understand the reason why you say that, because
mm,
you truly have to listen to it every day
mm,
for it to go into the unconscious mind and then comes into your conscious mind. So now, those thoughts and beliefs that you've taught me in the positive way, I feel like right back in my mind, deep there. And now it's here.
at
That's
the
how I think.
forefront.
That's how I
Mm.
think now.
So you completely like
Yeah,
switched it around, haven't you? Which
yeah,
is amazing.
yeah,
And then like you said earlier, like people are seeing you and receiving you differently. Your energy's different. And that's the sort of thing we do in the lives as well, isn't it? We do something, I teach you something, and it's like, okay, well, you might have even covered it in the training portal, or you might, but you hear things differently. I do that all the time with all my training, I still do.
mm,
I hear something and I'm like, hmm, I hadn't thought about it like that. And the more you do this kind of learning, the more you want to do, don't you? You
yeah,
just
you
want to
do.
keep on going and
Yeah,
opening doors. And I
yeah.
remember a few weeks ago, you had when you first went back to school, you had to stand on stage, didn't you, and present. And you were like, so we had a little chat about it, but you also mentioned it in the group chat, didn't you?
It was perfect timing. I feel like the group, the group session was the night before I was
Yeah.
presenting, so I 100% needed that.
Mm.
It got me through. It really got me through.
And so did everyone in the chat, didn't they? Because
They
they was,
did.
oh, and then afterwards it was like, how did it go? And everyone's going, yay, well done.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other girls in there did something similar as well, didn't she? And
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
thing happened there. And that's what's nice about it, isn't it? It's that friendly encouragement. And
Yeah.
that's what when you're in a group of the same tribe of people, you've obviously got your own lives and issues or whatever, but at a high level, you're all high functioning people who want to make changes, and you're all dealing with the same sort of issues,
Yeah.
but you support each other,
I
and
love
that's
it
what's really
really. We
nice.
bounce off each other, don't we, in those
Mm.
sessions and
And if someone goes, oh, I've just found this is really good, or and then you'll go, oh, I'm going to try that, and it's really, really nice. And it's turning out now into a real nice little family, isn't it? A nice
yeah.
little community
Yeah.
that, people can join just the group program if they want to, or they can come in and work with me on a one-to-one, but you also get the group as part of it as well. So, I mean, you can stay in it as long as you like, can't you? It's,
Yeah.
it's whatever you choose to do. But I think having the group program alongside the one-to-ones is so powerful because you get that resilience then, don't you?
Yeah.
And you get that extra knowledge, and there's all the workbooks in there. There's other hypnosis as well. I think you've done some of the other hypnosis in there
Yeah.
as well, haven't
Yeah, I
you?
love that one. Yeah.
Was that the time machine, was it?
That was the time machine. Yeah, that had a big impact on me, that one. So,
Mm. So
yeah.
even if you don't work with me on a one-to-one, you can still make powerful changes in the hypnosis that's actually in there.
Yeah.
But it's all the somatic tools as well, isn't there? Like you mentioned a few of them. What would you say are your top three favorite tools that you've learned?
The Razorol, that was my first one that I really focused on. Um, Sort of having that thought and then just learning how to let it go in the moment. Um, and the deep breathing has really helped me.
Mm,
'Cause if I feel myself, in the moment where I'm like, oh, it's been a long day, or just deep breathe. I'm driving home, I just deep breathe, and
mm,
that's it. I'm fine. So deep breathing, um, and I just feel like the grounding audios have been
mm,
really helpful, because it's just instantly calming. And you really do feel those feelings inside your body as you're
mm,
listening to the audio. And it's
mm,
nice to like imagine, it actually enhances your imagination as well. Like you're imagining these things, around you, and it's just so soothing. So,
mm.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we do in your personal bespoke recording as well, isn't it? We
Yeah.
we we discuss all this kind of prior to the session, but then we take what comes up in the session and anything afterwards might go, oh, do you know what? Can you put that in there for me? But it's all about changing and reinforcing the new beliefs, but it's also about visualizing yourself like future pacing, isn't it? What the version of you wanted to look like and
Yeah.
does look like, and and what she can look like in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
All in all, it's pretty darn powerful, isn't it, really?
Every.
Really is powerful. And I feel so happy that I've been given a gift. I spent 35 years in the corporate world, didn't ever think I was really that good at anything, really. So to actually find something, in my 50s that I feel like I'm really good at, and, obviously you've just
Look
said.
how different you are as well, Julie, compared to before.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. And that's important actually. So everything I do with my clients is what I've been through myself.
Mm.
So it's not me just coming up with something and saying, oh, that'll probably be all right. It's stuff that I've been taught, and I've been lucky to have some amazing mentors who I still work with now. And I'm always learning from them. And I'll have a session with them and then I'll go, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna teach my kids that.
Sorry,
And,
Mum.
and that's what it's all about. It's,
Yeah.
and I love it now. I love finding out something else. And recently, I've just had my first book published as well, which made bestseller, which I'm super proud of, which was, about Luther, but also about my transformation and my journey. And I never knew I wanted to do that. I never even knew I wanted to do any of this really. It was after getting made redundant and then going, oh, I best do something different then. And, the universe was giving me nudges and it nudged me out of my job, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Blessing
Um,
in disguise, really.
you
That happened
know,
with you.
and good job it did, right? Has it been easy? No. Um, has there been times when I thought, what the hell am I doing? I should just go back to being employed. But at the end of the day, I really wanted it so badly that it just become who, I just worked and worked and worked at it. So yeah, so I'm super proud of myself too. And I'm really, really super proud of you, my darling.
Thank
And
you.
I love working with you, and you are my ideal client, someone who is ready for change and wants to do the work. Because although you can say that the deep dive is a little bit of a magic bullet, but the whole thing isn't, there is no magic bullet for all of it, is there? Because you still have to do the work,
Yes. Yeah.
but it does give you a chance, doesn't it? It gives you a real good fighting chance
Yeah.
because, but as you sort of clear out, I say clear out your cupboard, your drawer, your wardrobe. Some people need a little bit more because there's more to clear out. But
Yeah.
once you make that start, if you're going to do any deep if you're going to do any work on yourself, this is the way to go, because you're
Yeah.
going to cut out all that years and years and years of talking about your issues, get to the root cause, and then you can get on with your life much, much quicker, can't you?
Yeah.
And
Exactly how I feel.
that's a fact, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I've got you and many other clients to prove that as well. So,
Yeah.
anyway, Jade, thank you so, so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. And anyone else who sees this, hopefully they will start to take action. Like I say, whether it's with me or with anybody else, but just start to take action, because what's the point of living your life in misery, really? What
No.
would be your last closing thoughts for everyone, darling?
Um, I can't recommend this enough. I think Julie's amazing. So if if you feel like you do need to seek help and, you're trying to find a person to help you with that, Julie is a person you need to go to.
Oh,
Hands down. I couldn't imagine doing it with anyone else. And it's something about Julie that has, made this experience so easy and just so lovely. So yeah, I just feel like if you do feel like you need help, this is the way to go. You need to do, the hypnotherapy, and this is the way forward to transforming your life. So thank you, Julie, for
thank
everything.
you, darling. I
Making me
really
emotional.
It'll make me emotional wreck now. But yeah, as I said right at the beginning, it makes me feel like a proud mum to see my kids flourish and, eventually fly the nest. But hopefully still stay within my world, because I can still see them. But yeah, thank you so much, darling. And I hope anyone watching this can, take some hope, really, that some people think that they can't get out of this, don't they? And you've got to be stuck in it, but it is not true.
No,
And whether you've tried a billion other things, you haven't tried working with me. So give that a
do
go.
it. Do it.
Do it, do it, do it. So thank you so much, darling. Take
Thank
care of
you.
yourself,
Thank you.
and thank you for watching, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you next time. We'll have another unstoppable guest. Thanks very much for watching.